Hello, I'm Shravanti Bondugala, working at Object Video Labs, and I will be presenting today our paper, Two-Stage Training Framework for Improved Classification of Poorly Localized Object Images. This is joint work with Kong Kyan and Alison Beach, who also work at Object Video. First, we look at some motivation of why and where poorly localized object images are generated. Deep learning and AI are coming to every aspect of our lives. We want to be able to deploy efficient deep learning models on the edge to support video analytics using security cameras for surveillance. In this case, a homeowner wants to be alerted of all routine activity like a car driving into the driveway or a person taking a walk with a dog, and all suspicious activity of a bear coming into their backyard or a burglar behind the bushes. Detecting objects of interest and tracking them would be one solution that would require deployment of efficient object detectors on the edge. For doing object detection on low power devices such as cameras, we see several challenges like privacy, latency, accuracy, and efficiency. We cannot send images over to the cloud for processing, and we want to get real-time alerts and fast and accurate alerts. We want to deploy efficient object detection algorithms on the edge. But because object detection models are so expensive and huge, we cannot do that. As a substitute, we can efficiently employ a combination of low-cost motion-based background techniques with state-of-the-art edge classifiers to filter out any false positives. Low-cost motion-based background techniques model a background and try to predict motion blobs capturing the region the motion might have happened. For example, in this scenario, where a person is bent, a motion blob generated captures partial object, while in another scenario, where there is both lightning change and a person running, it can capture the entire object and also a lot of background. Both these examples are examples of poorly localized object images generated using the low-cost solution. The false positives generated by the motion-based background subtraction models can be filtered out by employing an efficient image classifier on the edge. As classifiers operating on small input resolution, images are much lighter to deploy and run efficiently on the edge. Performance of SOTA mobile optimized classifiers on ImageNet is getting better and matching that of the full models. On the left here are the mobile optimized models with increasing performance reaching 80% with recently proposed OFA network. Unfortunately, SOTA classifiers do not do well in classifying these poorly localized object images shown in the bottom. They do excellent classification on well-localized object images where objects are focused and in the center and with small transformations. Poorly localized object images are those where the object is not centered, is heavily occluded, and there is too much background in the image, and the object occupies only a small portion of the image, like the aeroplane in the sky or the boat in the ocean. Naturally, a solution would be to train classifiers with poorly localized object images to address this issue. We will see that by doing this, it does improve performance on these hard examples, but also classifies many non-object images as objects, producing a lot of false positives. Here are some examples of poorly local object images shown in the right, generated from the full images shown on the left with different IOUs. Here IOU is the intersection over union of the overlap between the object present in the poorly local object image and the ground truth bounding box of the object in the full image. We see that with IOU 0.1, there is only a small amount of overlap of the object present between the poorly local object image and the corresponding object ground truth bounding box. While with IOU 0.4, there is a good amount of object overlap between the ground truth bounding box, but there is also quite a lot of context of sky in the bird image. There are currently no test data sets for testing models on poorly localized object images. So we curated 4 noisy test datasets, each with an IOU from 0.1 to 0.4, using VOC 2007 test images as full images. Each test set contains poorly local object images with the minimum overlap of the specified IOU for the test set with the corresponding ground truth bounding box object images. As we can see, the test set of VOC noisy 0.4 contains images with large amount of object present in them. Finally, our idea is pretty simple. Our two-stage training framework trains on hard examples first and then slowly fine-tunes in the second stage with easy examples, such as well-localized bounding box images. The first stage model performs very well on hard examples, that is poorly localized objects, but also produces a lot of false positives, classifying non-object images as objects. The second stage model carefully fine-tunes the well-localized training object images to correct the low signal ratio of the objects captured in the model trained in the first stage. The goal of the second stage training is to rectify the model and reinforce the model's response to two true target object classes. The intuition behind the proposed approach is to first train the model using hard examples to make the model more acceptable and resilient to background noises and thus improve the recall, and then fine-tune the model with well-localized examples to improve the precision. The final model works well on both poorly localized and well-localized object images. We evaluate our approach with the baseline approach with traditional fine-tuning as shown on the top on the poorly local datasets of VOC 2007 that we just introduced. We see that our approach improves the classification performance by an absolute 2.5 to 4.1% in detecting the poorly local objects. On the noisy dataset with IUU threshold by 0.1, which is the difficult dataset, we improve performance by 2.5%, while on the noisy dataset with IUU threshold 0.3, we improve performance by an impressive 4.1%. Also, below are the qualitative results of the poorly localized object images correctly classified via our approach that were not detected by the baseline. We see that although the airplane images do not contain the full object and sometimes has only its tail part, our model can detect correctly the object even when looking at a partial object. We also did an ablation study asking several questions about the efficacy of our method. Is two-stage training really necessary? This table tells us that indeed it does to obtain good performance on both the test sets. On the top here are the models trained in one stage adapting various data augmentation techniques while fine-tuning, and none of these perform better on both the test sets. We like to highlight here that our stage 1 trained model denoted with contextual augmentation performs excellently on the noisy test set but loses performance on the clean classification test set. So it is important to employ the two-stage training to get better performance on both the test sets. And the second question we ask is, how much context is really helpful? Should we use all hard examples or we should use some easy examples in the first stage training? This table tells us that no matter the amount of hard examples we use, we get better performance on noisy test set as long as we use some compared to when we don't use any hard examples. That is, we get top 1 accuracy of 77.59% on VOC noisy dataset with IUU threshold 0.3 compared to the baseline of 73.31%, improving the performance by 4.28%. Finally, we see that the model in the second stage needs to be fine-tuned very carefully. That is, we need to use a very low learning rate. So, in the table, we see that with a low learning rate of 1e minus 5, we observe better performance for both the test sets. And at last, we see that using our two-stage approach, we get models with better generalization ability and therefore when trained from scratch can give better performance. We validate this empirically using both MobileNet V2 and FBNet models. We see an absolute improvement of plus 2.5% in top 1 accuracy using MobileNet V2 and 3.5% improvement of top 1 accuracy for FBNet when trained using our approach compared to trained in one stage. One might wonder why we ever need to train from scratch, but to fit to an edge device with its own requirements, sometimes we may need to come up with an entirely new model and not be able to train on ImageNet for proprietary reasons. Here we demonstrate that in such a scenario, our approach can boost the performance of the traditional classifiers. Thanks for listening to this presentation.